We were just 2 days away from our 5th anniversary, and I was about to find out my entire marriage was a lie. I used to think marriage got easier with time, that after a few years the awkwardness fades, the nerves settle, and what's left is comfort, peace, and honesty. But in my case, what was left was lies. It started small. Little things I told myself didn't matter. She'd come home late from work, claiming traffic, but her hair would be curled and her lipstick freshly done. She stopped asking how my day was, stopped saying goodnight. She even changed her phone password and acted like I was crazy for noticing. And yet, I still believed in us. I still bought her flowers, still booked a private chef for our anniversary dinner, still told myself we were just going through something. But deep down, something felt off. Like I was watching a woman who was acting like my wife, but wasn't her anymore. Then came the night that changed everything. I had fallen asleep on the couch watching a documentary. She thought I was out cold. She walked past me quietly, whispering into her phone, "No, he's asleep. He's clueless." I didn't move, just listened. "I miss you too. I'll see you tomorrow, same time." She hung up, and I kept my eyes shut, my chest frozen, my heart roaring in silence. Clueless? I was wide awake, and I wasn't clueless anymore. That night, I decided I wasn't just going to catch her. I was going to expose her in the most unforgettable way possible. She called me clueless. That was her first mistake. Her second, thinking I wouldn't do anything about it. I didn't sleep that night. I just laid there, listening to her breathe beside me, like nothing had changed. But everything had. The whisper on the phone, the tone in her voice, the lee in her silence. It wasn't just betrayal. It was mockery. She thought she had me wrapped around her finger, that I was too soft, too trusting, too in love to fight back. And maybe I had been, but not anymore. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to plan. The next morning, I went through her phone while she was in the shower. Her password had changed, again, but I knew her too well. Her go-to was always a date. So I tried her brother's birthday, her best friend's wedding. Nothing. Then I tried something petty, the date she first met her work friend, Marcus. Bingo. I opened the messages and felt my stomach twist. Flirty texts, hidden photos, inside jokes, and dates. So many dates. All while I thought she was working late or running errands. She didn't just cheat, she did it with comfort, with rhythm, with intention. I wanted to scream, but instead, I smiled, because that was the moment I stopped feeling like a victim. You want to play games? Cool, let's play mine. And I knew exactly when to do it. Our 5th anniversary dinner, the night she expected to be showered with love, roses, and praise. The night I would serve her something far better. The truth. But if I was going to pull this off, I'd need help. So I called someone who knew how to set the perfect table for revenge. I hired someone, but not who she expected. She was planning a secret night out. I was planning a 5-star trap, and it started with one phone call. The next morning, while she was texting her boss, I was making a call of my own. "Hey, Chef Marco? Yeah, who's this? Name's Alex. I need your help planning a dinner, but not just any dinner." Chef Marco is one of those private chefs you only book if you want your guests to remember the night forever. 5-star meals, tableside prep, the whole 9 yards. I told him it was for our 5th anniversary. He was excited, thought it was romantic. But I wasn't booking him for love. I was booking him for precision. "There's going to be a toast," I told him. "A special one. You'll know when to pause." "Got it," he said. "You going for drama?" You have no idea. The plan was already coming together. I set the date Friday night. The location, our home. Intimate, familiar, trapped. I even let her believe she'd gotten away with it. She gushed when I told her about the surprise dinner, kissed my cheek, called me the sweetest husband alive. The acting? Oscar-worthy. "You deserve it," I told her. "You've been working so hard." She smiled like she hadn't just spent the weekend in someone else's bed. Then came the final piece. I contacted a friend, someone she didn't even know I still spoke to, someone who worked in private security. I asked him one question. "Can you get me proof?" He didn't hesitate. Already on it. And just like that, the trap was set. 3 days before the dinner, he sent me a folder. What was inside made my blood boil, but it also gave me the perfect final touch, for my toast. 3 days before our anniversary dinner, I got the message. It was a simple text from my friend Jake, the private security guy. Check your email, folder attached. Good luck. I opened it on my laptop. There were over 40 photos, time-stamped, geotagged, clear as day. My wife, in a hotel room, wearing the dress I bought her last Christmas, kissing him, laughing, wrapped in his arms like he was the only man who ever mattered. But the worst, she was wearing her wedding ring in every single photo. And there he was, Marcus, her coworker, the guy she always claimed was like a brother. He wasn't just sleeping with her. He was smiling about it, like he'd stolen something and knew I'd never find out. But I did. Oh, I did. There was also a video. I almost didn't watch it, but curiosity, pain, rage, whatever you want to call it, it pushed me. It was recorded from a parking garage. You see her walk up to him, toss her bag in his car. She kisses him, then looks around as if she's proud of hiding it all. And then clear as day, she says, "Don't worry, Alex is a sweetheart. He'd never hurt me. He trusts me too much." I paused the video right there, not because I couldn't take it, but because that line was going into my toast. I printed the photos, booked the wine, and rehearsed the toast over and over until it was perfect. The table was set, so was the trap. Everything was perfect. The food, the wine, the candles, the lie. She didn't know tonight was the last time she'd ever see me this quiet. Friday night finally arrived, our 5th anniversary. She wore the red silk dress I gave her on our honeymoon, the one she hadn't touched in 2 years. She thought she was being sweet, sentimental. I thought it was ironic. Her makeup was flawless, her smile radiant, and yet all I could see was the woman in those photos. Chef Marco arrived right on time. White coat, stainless steel knives, wine paired with every dish. She was giddy. "This is amazing, Alex," she whispered. "You really outdid yourself." I smiled and poured her a glass of Pinot Noir. Only the best for the woman I've spent 5 unforgettable years with. I meant every word. They just meant something different to me than they did to her. The appetizers came out, handmade crab cakes with lemon aioli. She moaned over every bite like it was heaven. I just kept smiling, letting her believe she was still in control. We talked about memories, trips, inside jokes. It felt like a love story to her. To me, it felt like her final act. As Chef Marco served the main course, a butter-seared filet with truffle mash, I caught his eye, just a glance. That was the signal. He nodded once, paused the background music, and stepped back into the kitchen. My wife blinked, confused. "Is something wrong?" I stood up slowly, reached behind my chair, pulled out a small black folder. "Nothing's wrong," I said calmly. "Dinner's just about to get more memorable." I opened the folder, slid it across the table, and watched her whole world fall apart in front of a $300 steak. She expected jewelry, a love letter, maybe even a proposal for a second honeymoon. What she got was a front row seat to the truth. I placed the black folder on the table, right between her wine glass and her perfect little smile. She looked at it, then at me. "What's this?" she asked, trying to sound flirty. I didn't answer. I just slid it across the table and said, "Open it." She opened it, and within seconds, her face fell. Gone was the charm. Gone was the smug confidence. All that was left was silence. One photo after another, laid out like a silent slideshow of guilt. Her, Marcus, the hotel, her lips on his neck, her hand in his, her wearing my ring like it meant nothing. She stared at the pages like they were burning her hands. I can explain." "No," I interrupted. "You've been explaining for months. This time, I'll talk." I stood up, lifted my glass, tapped it gently with a fork. The toast. "To 5 years of marriage," I said loud and clear. "To the woman who promised loyalty, then whispered to her lover that I was clueless." Her eyes widened. Her lips parted. To the man she called her coworker and clearly knew better than her husband. To the love that was supposed to last a lifetime, but didn't survive a corporate retreat. She whispered my name, but I wasn't finished. "And to you, my darling," I said, looking her dead in the eye, "for reminding me that trust is a gift, and some people only want the wrapping." She begged me not to go, but what she didn't know was that I'd already packed my bags. She thought a few tears and a shaky apology would undo 5 months of betrayal. But I didn't come here for a conversation. I came for closure. She reached for my hand, the same hand that had booked this dinner, paid for her wine, held her up through 5 years of love. Alex, wait, please, I messed up, but we can fix this. I stepped back. No, we can't. Her voice cracked. It didn't mean anything. Marcus, he doesn't love me like you do. I almost laughed. The desperation, the sudden switch. She was unraveling, and it was honestly pathetic. You're right, I said. He doesn't, and that's exactly why you ran to him. She tried again, grabbed at memories, at shared jokes, at anniversaries past like they meant something now. Don't throw everything away. I looked her dead in the eyes. You already did. And then I dropped the final truth. I've been packed for 3 days. She blinked. What? Suitcases are in the car. Lease is in my name. I canceled your credit cards this morning, and the ring? I slid it off my finger, laid it on the now empty dinner plate. This belongs with the rest of your lies. She stood frozen. Chef Marco emerged from the kitchen to clean up. He glanced at her, then me, and nodded like a man who just witnessed something legendary. I walked out the front door without looking back. No yelling, no slammed doors, no chaos, just silence. And that silence spoke louder than anything I could have screamed. She tried to chase me down, but what she found instead was the goodbye letter I left on her pillow. She broke my heart in secret, so I ended the marriage in ink and left her with nothing but silence and paper cuts. I knew she'd follow me, that once the door closed, she'd run upstairs, tears in her eyes, hope in her throat. But what she found on our bed wasn't me. It was a single envelope, white, heavy, unsealed, and inside, a letter, the last thing I would ever say to her. Dear Madison, 5 years ago, I promised to love you, honor you, and be faithful, even when things got hard. I kept that promise. You didn't. I didn't write this to hurt you. I wrote it so you'd have something to hold when you wake up one day and realize what you lost. You didn't just cheat on me, you lied to me every day with a kiss on your lips and a smile I thought was real. You made me question my instincts. You made me feel stupid for trusting you. That's what hurts most. But now I know I'm not weak. I'm not broken. I'm free. You gave yourself to someone else, so now I'm giving myself a chance to start over with someone who actually deserves me. Goodbye, Alex. I never heard her open the envelope, never saw her read it. I didn't have to, because I know the moment she read the last line, she realized I meant every word. But just when I thought it was over, I found out the affair was darker than I imagined. And it wasn't just about me. I walked away thinking the damage was done. But then I found out she hadn't just betrayed me. She'd ruined someone else too. A week after I left, I got a call. Unknown number. At first, I let it go to voicemail, but something told me to listen. It was Marcus's wife. Her voice was shaky, controlled, but there was rage underneath it, the same kind I had felt not long ago. Hi. I think you're Alex. My name's Brianna. I'm Marcus's wife. I just found out about everything, about your wife and mine. I froze. They told me it was just a work thing. She continued, but it wasn't. I found pictures, hotel receipts. I even found a bracelet your wife left in his glove compartment. I didn't even know what to say. Part of me wanted to hang up and never think about it again, but the other part, the part that had sat in silence for too long, said something else. You're not alone, I told her. Trust me. We talked for an hour, shared details, timelines, red flags, and it turned out they'd started this long before I suspected. 2 years. They'd been sneaking around for almost 2 years, and the worst part? She babysat our daughter, Brianna whispered. I thought she was a friend. My little girl called her Aunt Maddie. That hit me like a gut punch. This wasn't just betrayal. It was calculated, personal, sick. And in that moment, I realized something. I thought I had already walked away from the fire. But the real fire was still burning, and I wasn't the only one in the smoke. So we made a decision. If they could plot in secret for 2 years, we could give them a surprise of our own. They spent 2 years sneaking around in secret. We spent 1 week exposing it in silence. No yelling, no drama, just results. Brianna and I talked again the next day. We weren't angry anymore. We were tired. Tired of lies. Tired of pretending we were the problem. Tired of being fooled by the people we trusted most. I'm not interested in revenge, she told me. I just want my dignity back. And I felt that. So we made a decision. We wouldn't fight fire with fire. We'd fight it with truth. She filed for divorce, quietly, no warning. Then she contacted Marcus's boss, her cousin, and forwarded screenshots of him texting my wife during business hours. They'd used company cards to book hotel rooms, and that was all HR needed. He was suspended within a day, fired by the end of the week. He showed up to my house crying, Brianna said. I didn't even open the door. As for Madison, she tried calling me dozens of times, emails, DMs, voicemails, all ignored, until finally she stopped. But not before she tried reaching my parents, the same people who once called her the best thing that ever happened to me. My mom told her exactly what needed to be said. If Alex wanted you in his life, he doesn't. Take the hint. Now, I live in a quiet apartment with sunlight, clean counters, and peace. No lies, no locked phones, no fake I love yous, just real people, real silence, and real friends, and real freedom. They thought they destroyed us, but all they did was free us from them, from their games, from their shadows. We didn't get even, we got better. Sometimes the best revenge is no revenge at all, just leaving them to choke on the silence.